Hi everyone, it's me again. Been a long time. Uh, I did not give up on this car. And a lot of people have been wondering why I've been so quiet regarding Project Gremlin because it's been gremlining. Is there such a word? It's been giving me a really hard time. So, and besides that, I've had some health issues. I've been also overly fatigued because of working so much. So, yeah, a lot of my work I haven't done quite as much as I wanted to, but yeah, just thought I'll give you an update. So we're busy putting the car back together, and we had an issue where when the harness that runs across the engine towards the back, that thing wasn't sitting in the right position. And actually that issue was there when the car came to me the first time. Let me just open up here. So what we did was water dripping here. What we did was, you can't really see the harness now, but it's the harness that runs behind here and then comes into there. So what we did was we moved the harness, lined it up quite nicely, and then we had a leak from the valve cover gaskets. We replaced them. Yeah, they were new, but where the problem actually came, and we'll come back to harness. The covers were sent in for powder coating, of course, and I told the gentleman who done it, do not let the guys powder coat on the inside here and around the fill cap. And he agreed and blah blah blah. And when I picked it up, on the inside it looked like they didn't do anything, but on the edge of the lip here there was just a slight trace amount of it, but enough to not let the gasket seat. Well, when you push the gasket in, it looks like it's seated, but as you tighten it up, what was actually happening, the gasket was starting to move out, so the oil started coming through there. So we had to block sand, and you know, these magnesium valve covers are a bit of a pain. So what we did was, we block sanded it, made it all even, put new gaskets on, sealed it up, and the leak's been sorted out. And while we were busy with that, that's when we came to the point where we had to sort out that part of the harness. And in doing so, we picked up a rather mysterious issue on the car. Start the car would just crank while the engine is running, and then it throws an error on the dashboard saying that the oil pressure is low, like a warning to turn off the engine. Turn the key off, the starter just continues spinning. So this being a later model car does not have a relay for the starter. Yeah, I was saying, this car does not have a relay like pre-facelift models that controls the starter, which it works from the EWS. EWS is of course the car's immobilizer system, and does its checks of course, and then gives the. So first thing I thought that maybe the ignition the ignition switch is bugged, but I know I did service it. And the next thing was to try and see if the EWS was faulty. Removing the EWS, I found the main power and ground cables were open. Well, they were stripped open and not even insulated again. So that actually made me worried, to think that maybe the EWS was damaged, but that wasn't the case. Did some tests, checked a few things, and yeah, all was well. And then also the starting issue was quite random. It done it, and then sometimes it just stopped, and the car would start normal. And in doing that, when it was cranking like that, what happened with the old starter was that the solenoid's contacts on the inside actually fused on the inside, and yeah, it got damaged, so it stayed stuck like that all the time. So we had to get a new starter, and then putting in the new starter, it worked for a day, and then we had another issue. The starter would crank, but the solenoid wouldn't engage. Then I remembered when I did the wiring underneath here, there was a relay that did not look like the other relays, and the wiring, although it was BMW's factory colors, the harness looked like it was cut and other terminals were put on there. So I suspected that relay might have been something, because this car's engine, this is not this car's original engine, it was changed. So I suspected that maybe that relay could have been the relay that runs this, and it could be buggered. It was causing the starter to misbehave. So while testing there, of course, there's just two cables that run from here down that plug into the starter. That sends a signal to the solenoid and, of course, to the starter to engage. Removing that and testing, I did test these cables. First thing I actually checked was to see those cables weren't shorting out. And testing them with the multimeter, of course, showed that they weren't. Then when I came to stripping all this out and checking here, and when I tested the power on this relay, 12 volt power, and I checked on here and it started beeping, that made no sense, because it's not supposed to do that. There's not supposed to be. There's that wire there. Bloody hell. There's not supposed to be 12 volts on this side on the one cable, which was ringing through. So that led me to believe that somewhere there was a short. So where I did not touch was, so underneath here there's these two boxes, of course, where all the wiring for the injectors run through, as well as a few other wires. Those two cables also run up and through there. But it was still in this original sleeving going through. So we opened it up, myself and my nephew, and we checked up, and all looked good. And then what I did was plug the relay into that harness again to see what's going on, if there's continuity. And as I moved the cable, it started beeping. I'll insert the picture to show you what the hell happened. So in between that sleeve, that little rubber grommet, in the sleeve, the two wires were cut open and they were left open. But what they done was, so one cable was sitting here where it was cut open, and the other one was sitting inside the rubber grommet. So when we lined everything up and straightened everything out, those two cables started pulling and they started touching, and that caused yeah. So I had to dig through all the cabling again there to make sure that I found a few other wires that were stripped open. A lot of wires were pried into, like the guys were testing with the multimeter, trying to see what the issue was. So yeah, I had to take all those, go through all those things, check all those wires, make sure there wasn't any other issues. And yeah, so I fitted, that was that issue. I fitted the window washers. I still have to just run the pipe now down to the reservoir. We've got the engine cover also. Let me just change this. I've got the bonnet cover on. And then yeah, the last video I made was on the seats, and I had to put that on hold because yeah, trying to figure out all this and then also not being well on top of it. So yeah, we're back into it now. Let me just show you the interior, what the seats look like. Okay, it's a bit of a mess at the moment, but you can see the color. Okay, the door panels off because I'm busy with that door panel now, because I need to spray those inserts as well, so the color matches, because these things are, yeah, the color is not the same. You can see the color is a lot nicer, looks a lot cleaner. I just have to put the matte over, what's it, not overcoat, it's like a clear coat to protect the seats now, to protect the new dye that's on here. And then most of the car is back together, except for, as you can see, all these things sitting here, because I need to sort out some issues with the sunroof. The sunroof is still not 100%. What else was there? Oh yeah, I need to sort out the new rear view camera that we've got. I'll show what it looks like as well. And then we've changed the oil on the car, because I have got a picture also to show you what happened when the car was cranking like that all the time. Let's close there. When the starter continued cranking like that, the injectors, so that relay was actually for injectors. That relay was being powered when those wires were shorting out. So the injectors were staying on, and it dumped a lot of fuel into the engine. And then also the fact that the car wasn't driving much, so it just started up in the morning just to warm it up. there was a lot of condensation in the oil also, so the oil got very thin. The varnish started making noise. The engine started getting a bit noisy. So we drained the oil, new filter, of course, and then we use our famous liquid moly oil additive, and then much quieter now, way smoother. And then just looking around, you can see the bumpers. Well, the bumper is coming on and off again because we were busy testing the lights. There's an issue with cable somewhere for some reason. I just need to check what is causing it. The lights come on and off. The new halo rings, not the halo rings, the new LED for the halo rings, that works properly now. Although the car's throwing an error, but I think I need to clear all the faults on the LCM, the light control module, because that thing also went cuckoo. The interior lights were coming on their own when the car was locked, or just randomly switching on, not going off. I think there's just too many errors in the fault memory, so I have to clear that. And then my shroud over here, if you look, let's just check if we can get it to focus. The car's a bit dirty. It was drizzling and windy and seeing. You see the paint started chipping here. So I did use a plastic primer, and this piece is rubber, but for some reason it still didn't bond to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flat all this nicely down, and then add a clear coat again on there just to protect it. As far as the paint goes, there are some things that still need to be sorted out, small things. This beading I'm waiting for. There was an issue with this beading, so spray painters have sorted it out. Go on the other side of the car. This door handle also, for some reason, you have to pull it quite high up for it to open, so I'll have to check what's going on there. And then I'm probably gonna need to bleed the brake system properly using Easter, because the brakes feel a bit squishy, a bit weird. But I know the E39 thing, once the system is completely drained and stuff, you have to do that. We tightened the front suspension. Well, it's been torqued up. We have to do the rear now. And then a lot of cleaning up still, because the car after being wet sanded and polished and all that stuff. As you can see here, I need to clean all this out here, even under the car, and then just give the car that I've got a little rubberized coating for underneath the car. And then also putting the interior, I still have to just, well, the steering is actually not bolted in 100%, so the airbag's loose here as well. This has to be painted the same color as the seats. Like I said, I'm busy with that now. I've taken it apart. Let me just show you. So yeah, I'll show the process of how I took this apart. It's quite simple. It's just some plastic welds. So I took the handle off. The airbag cover itself, this is some nuts and little supporting that holds this in place. Took that off. I'm just busy masking around now. I have to take the other door panels off and do the same, and then just paint all this. I need to finish up the rear bench, the backrest actually, because I'll show you quickly. This is the issue I had here as well. Well, not with the seat, but as you can see it's still, the color is off here, this section, well, most of it here, and I still need to do the armrest over there. The problem what actually happened was my compressor. I had an issue with my compressor, and yeah, my regulating valve went all cuckoo. So yeah, it caused a lot of shit. And now when I sorted that out, I caused another problem, now over tightening, and I cracked this piece here. So now I've got a slight leak. But what I have to do now is I'm just going to use some Bradley steel just to close that up. Did I forget anything? Oh yeah. So this is what I'll be powering on with. I do apologize for the lack of videos, but yeah, it's been a bit rough. Physically on my body, mentally as well. So the next video should be on me finishing up the interior, all this with the doors and stuff, and then I'll see the following video will probably be with the headlights where I have to change the lenses. Of course, I haven't changed the lenses yet. I didn't want to open these things up and let dust go inside them. I was busy first sorting out all this wiring nightmare. Oh, and then while I was busy with all these stories here, the one day when I was busy trying to sort out the starter, I forgot to close. I was checking the oil filter just to make sure there's no metal filings inside. And they weren't, luckily. Opened up here and I closed it and I didn't tighten it properly and I completely forgot about it because this thing was stressing me out so much. I couldn't figure out what was going on. The next morning when I came to start the car and the car started cranking and I switched it off, it continued cranking. And then I just heard liquid dripping and then I remembered I didn't close this thing, so the oil shot out everywhere. Everything got messed up. The harness, I had to take all the harnessing tape off again. Yeah, I had to take everything apart again and clean everything up. Spotlights are in as well. Those panels that fit inside there, I'm not fitting them right now because the bumper, like I say, has to come off again once I finish the lights. Also the bumper is so that little aluminium part of the bumper on the inside, see the bumper moves like this. It's not that it's not secured properly, it's because this thing inside is not mounted properly, so the bumper's not sitting right at the moment. Need to sort that out. What else was there? Just try to think. There's just so much. There's quite a few things that we did do. Oh yeah. If you look here, new step sills. These, we are waiting for some clips because these funny little clips here, they were like so brittle and broke inside, and even that little grommet where it pushes into, they were also damaged, so we had to order that from BMW as well. Got that sorted out. Oh yeah. So when I had an issue with the steering and the seat. That's why the seat is, the backrest is off, because the seat and the steering refused to move when I tried to sort out the switch for the ignition switch. So the tilt and what do you call it, the telescopic function for the steering wasn't working, and of course the seat, but they linked to each other. And yeah, I couldn't figure out what was causing the problem, and then turned out to be a faulty ground underneath the seat somewhere along the harness. So I had that sorted out also, and yeah, that works now. So yeah, next up, finish up the seats, put everything back together, and hopefully the car doesn't come up with any more surprises, because frankly I don't use ugly language, but yeah, I'm tired. it just I've put so much energy and so much patience, and yeah, this car doesn't like the niceties I'm giving it. But yeah, anyway, next episode, hopefully this just clears up why I've been so quiet and haven't been giving updates. See you guys. Please like and subscribe, share, even though I'm not posting much, but I will be. Take care.